The one I remember because when I broke my guitar at like that last time, it was because I did it so nonchalantly because we went through many guitars after that. I remember the first Guitar Hero guitar I ever had, how it broke. It was back when I was dating Alyssa, and I would always take my Guitar Hero guitar to her house. We'd play Guitar Hero there, and I would ride my bike back. And when I was riding my bike back one time, I had my Guitar Hero controller and it was wired, so there was a wire dangling. I didn't notice. I felt something tug, but I didn't think anything of it, so I kept going. When I got home, I found out the wire got ripped out of my controller.
Oh.
And I was like, and I rode my bike back. Pretty much what happened was the wire got caught under the wheel and just yanked. And it yanked my wire right out of my controller. I was so upset after that.
Were you on your way back from a gig?
Pretty much.
Dude, Joey, they really made those Guitar Hero 2, what were they? What kind of guitar was it?
It was the Explorer Guitar Hero 2 guitar.
They really made those Explorer Guitar Hero guitars really sturdy, huh?
They did. No, those are the best Guitar Hero guitars you can ever buy. Any other Guitar Hero guitar is a piece of shit.
Jeez.
Those are like the best ones. If you can ever buy them, buy them. Because those will last you for fucking ever, as long as you don't bash it into the ground or run it over with your bike.
On purpose.
Both of which somehow Joseph has managed to do.
When you smashed your guitar, did you feel like a real rock star?
No, I just...
They should just gave you, like, S rank.
Guitar.
There's probably some guy that was just laughing so hard.
It was Nick.
The story behind Jayton breaking his Xbox was... it was his original Xbox, and you guys remember those. Those things were made out of, like, fucking concrete and steel and just unbreakableness.
Yep.
Jayton... He was playing Halo 2, and I guess he was blue. What was it? Blue screen is what they called it.
Yeah. Yeah, the standby screen.
He was blue. He was being standby.
Mm-hmm.
His thing was blue, and it was in a game, and I know the other team was talking trash to him. So he gets standbyed. He gets super fucking mad. Apparently. He starts screaming at the TV at the top of his lungs. He takes the Xbox, and then he rips it off of like his dresser where it was, and he just like all the cables are like strewn everywhere. He throws it out his door. He lived on the second floor of his house. It flew over the fucking the railing in the middle of his living room.
What the fuck?
And then Jayton, like, apparently he screamed really loud and went downstairs and started hitting it.
God.
And then he went back upstairs and he said he picked up his controller and then he just stared and he went, "Fuck!" And now he doesn't have an Xbox.
Did it still work after that though?
No, it did. It barely fucking worked. It could barely read the disc. Like, it could sometimes read the disc and sometimes not. Eventually, it just died, and he got mad again. He got mad again, and he hit it, and then it stopped working. And then he got mad that it stopped working, so he went to his garage. He said this time he said he unplugged it. He picked it up. He walked downstairs into his garage, and then he slammed it on the ground in the garage.
I can see it happening.
Upstairs. Yeah, and he went back upstairs, and then he was like, "Fuck, I should go get my game." He went downstairs. He plugged it in, and it wouldn't open.
Yeah.
So then
I remember he used to have to punch that thing to open it.
Yeah, he started hitting it to try and get it to open out.
Breathe!
The Halo 2. And then he spent like 3 months where he would come to my house every single day. He would literally come to my house. We'd get out of school at 1:50. He would not walk home. He would walk straight to my house.
Why do I remember this?
And then he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." He goes, "You want to play Xbox?" And I was like, "Sure." And then he would sit down and he goes, "All right, I'm going to play a couple games and then you can play a couple games." And then he would end up playing until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
From like 3. And eventually, like it'd be like 10:45, and I'm like, I have to go to bed. I have to get up at like at 5:30 tomorrow so we can go to school. And he goes, yeah, go to sleep. I'll just leave. I'm like, no, fucking go to your house. I have to kick him the fuck out. And my mom would be like, is Jayden still here? And I'm like, yeah. Like, he would stay for dinner and everything. He wouldn't even fucking eat dinner. He would just sit there playing.
They had to make a clan
So
meeting.
ridiculous. It was like 3 months of this. He would come by on the weekend, and like at this time, like I was actually like playing outside. So
I
thought
think
we'd
I
go to the
remember
pool or
this.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
we'd go
it.
to the pool. We'd go to the pool. We'd spend like 15 minutes of it. He goes, "Oh, dude, it's getting kind of boring. Let's go back to your house. Go back to my house." He literally sits down and starts playing Xbox.
I think I remember this. I think I remember we had a clan meeting, and you had to sign in next to him because he was already on. And this is how it was for like a few weeks. Like,
Yeah, it was so stupid. I was so mad. And then what happened was the entire time that we're playing like that, he's complaining because I have a 360 and he didn't like the controller. So the entire time he's complaining that the controller sucks, and that's why he's doing that, because he can't get used to the fact that there's no black and white buttons anymore. And he kept accidentally pressing the bumpers instead of the trigger.
well, the original Xbox controller is a lot different from the 360.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was just so fucking funny, dude. Oh, like looking back now, but back then, oh my god, I was so annoyed like 90% of the time, because I'd forget about it.
Yeah.
And like next day, he's like, "Yeah, you want to play Xbox?" I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to play Xbox. Let's go play Halo."
Yeah. Dude.
And he gets like, "Oh, hold on, I have to play some matchmaking first. Then we can play social."
I
I was
think
like, "All right."
It's like 51st games of Halo 2 with Barney.
It's so fucking stupid.
I think my friend has the best like rage story. I think I told you guys about this. My friend Joey, he basically his friend Lewis was staying over. I knew both of them for like the longest time. Friend Lewis was staying at his house because he was staying there for a few weeks because he had some like problems at home or something. And so, anyways, they're playing. Joe was playing. They're playing Team Hardcore, which was like serious in Halo 2. If you ever played Halo 2.
Yeah.
And then he got standbyed and he lost his level. And he literally started screaming. He kicked his TV over, broke his TV, went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, grabbed all the phones, put his mom, his sister, and his best friend Lewis in a closet, and told them if anybody tries to leave, he's gonna fucking stab them and kill them.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck, dude?
And so I guess his sister had called the cops on him, and then they came and they couldn't calm him down, so the medical staff, like, they had to inject him with something to calm him down
What?
and then restrain him, and then they took him away.
That is insane.
Oh man.
And how long has he been in the asylum now?
I only knew him afterwards, and they told me this story. Oh, I'd be playing with them. Well, it's like, how are you guys still friends?
The last time, the last time I actually legitimately raged at a game, Joey remembers this, was Final Fantasy 13 Episode 2. Alright, so you guys know me. When I play video games and I just want to find out the story, I don't care. I'm a spy. Like, I do anything that I can to get past all of the enemies without having to fight them. So...
I know, I've seen you do that. It's
Like,
really
yeah.
annoying playing
Joey-
Call of Duty.
Joey's there. He's like, you're probably gonna need to fight a few of these monsters. Grind your character a little because you're gonna need it for the boss. So I'm like zooming in and out. Like I'm NASCAR right now, NASCARing through these guys. I take like a hard right. This monster comes out, jumps in front of me. All you hear is like going into battle. I do this loud Tobey Maguire Spider-Man scream at the top of my lungs.
The scream where Green Goblin kicks him through the fire.
You have no idea.
But
like I got so legitimately
That was the only
mad.
time Billy got caught. Well, he got caught a couple of times before that, but Billy will do these things where he can dodge monsters. There was like a group of like 10 monsters, and I'm like, Bill, you're gonna have to fight them. There's no way getting around them. He fucking somehow gets around them. Like, he runs through them like a football player. He dodges every enemy, and I'm saying like, how the fuck did you do that?
Have you ever
I had to fight
considered?
them multiple times.
Have you ever considered a career in the NFL, Billy?
I don't know, dude. Maybe I should look
Just
into that.
pretend
Pretty nice
that all
running
the other dudes on the field are just monsters you don't want to fight.
I am lightning. I
I
must
need to
get
find out the
past these
story in
creatures.
the end zone.
So, you guys remember the time Jayton lived here when I got into the Halo 3 Friends and Family beta?
Oh
Yes.
my god. Yes, tell the story.
Yes. He basically did the same thing. He just camped out at your fucking house.
Yeah, and
He show up. He's like, "Hey man, you want to play Halo?"
and me and Jayton have two very different playing styles when it comes to Halo. Jayton's more of a competitive player, and I'm more of like, I love big maps and what do they call it? Skirmish kind of game types, like Capture the Flag. So Jayton's here voting for maps like Guardian. No, Guardian wasn't in that. It was Snowbound he was voting for, and I was voting for
Snowbound.
Valhalla all the time.
This problem, Jayton doesn't want. Halo
was-
3.
It was Snowbound,
Doesn't want. Yeah.
Snowbound,
High Ground,
Grounds,
and Valhalla. Yeah.
But
Nice.
so Jayton had this problem, and I had the problem too when I first started playing the beta, where every time you die, it'll bring up the menu, and if you hit X, I think X brought you back faster in Halo 2. When you hit X in this, it brings up a player report, and it brings up the screen. And back in the day, it took a year to load that fucking dashboard blade. So Jayton kept doing that, and that was starting to get me like really pissed because I'd be in the middle of killing someone, and that would pop up.
And that stupid would be up there.
Yeah, and we're playing split screen, so he would do that over and over again and get me killed. After a while, I kind of just got a little annoyed with it, and I'm dying, and Jayton's starting to yell at me because I'm not doing as well as I did the previous game. And he's like, dude, just fucking shoot him in the head. And I put down my controller, I looked at him and said, stop fucking bitching, Jayton!
What did he do? He was looking at you all shocked.
He got really pissed from that. And we're just playing, and I start laughing because I just realized how silly I sounded. And I look at him, and he's fucking serious. He's like, I swear to fucking God, dude, I'm about to punch you in the fucking face.
I remember I was like in my room because I was in the matchmaking lobby with you guys, and I heard that. I was like, "Oh shit!" I don't really know what to
I'm
do.
just gonna play.
You hear Billy get up and close his door.
Dude, Jayton's gotten so mad at me, like playing like in real life with me. Like he's been at my house, and I think we were playing Halo 2, and I had a 360, and I had just gotten like new internet, and Jayden had taught me how to do all the standbying software. I don't know why, but he's like, in case we need it, because I had better internet than he did, so I would get host more often, and
Yeah, you did.
he learned how to bridge host and everything too, which was like really, really funny. He taught me how to do it. I just didn't have a bridging cable. Either way, yeah, he got super pissed at me because he basically just taught me how to do it. He told me to do it because the other team was trying to bridge host, and he goes, stand by them right now, Barney. I accidentally disconnected from the game. It just gave them host.
I remember one of the things I loved playing with you is because you would always get host. That was one of the best things.
And worst part, I wasn't really that good at Halo 2, so it didn't matter that I had host or not. But at least like everybody else was on a level playing field.
I know.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't that good, my advantage didn't mean much.
I remember you saying that all the time. Like, I'm not going to do anything with it, but neither are they. That was the reasoning for it. It was like, okay.
It was so stupid. Dude, Jayden got so mad at that, and it gave them host, and then they won. And Jayden would not let that go for literally like 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
2 fucking weeks.
Jayden used to get so pissed at anything competitive. He
used
used
to
to
get
get really
violent.
pissed just at the thought of you guys saying that I was better than him all the time.
Yeah.
He would hate it. He wouldn't want to play with us.
He still takes that like personally.
Yeah.
He's a lot better with it now.
Yeah.
Like, he would never let me live with that video of me playing him on one-on-one Halo 4. He would have never, like, let that go. Because I
Yeah.
just destroyed him. And then I put in my file share just to, like, get at him even more, and I shared it with him.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
No, go on.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, I mean, I could probably write like a novel with all the stories that I have from like my brothers and I, like fighting over Halo and other video games. I can't even tell you anything about my brother Chris because like that was just how he played games by throwing controllers at walls. He didn't actually press buttons or use his sticks. It was just throw the controller at the wall, and that's how the game
Bashing
worked.
his head into the controller.
Yeah, it was like I learned so many like new words and like curse words that I've never heard before in my life, and that's how I know them now is because of my brother.
That's kind of
Playing
how...
video games.
That's where I learned how to swear. It was on Halo 2 matchmaking.
But
Yeah, same here.
like I told you how like my brother John like on his 17th birthday how he smashed his controller. Well, there's more to that story where afterwards he like went outside to get some air and he took his controller with him. And I guess because it was already broken or something, he figured, well, fuck it, like it's already broken. There go and he decided to just I guess maybe he realized how ridiculous he was being and he decided to have a laugh about it. So we went downstairs because we thought he was gonna like explode or something, but he's going downstairs and he's like, "No, I'm fine, guys," and he's just laughing. And he takes his controller like a lasso by the wire, swinging it up in the air over his head, and he just like hurls it across the street. So nice. It was so nice. I mean, he already stopped us. So it's like, where's the damage done? But yeah, there was another time, in Halo 2 matchmaking, I was just watching my brother play, and it was like me and him, like his best friend at the time, and my sister, who was dating like my brother's best friend, and we're just like all sitting behind him, just watching him play. And he matches up with like some stupid like southern like hicks in matchmaking, and I don't remember if they won or not, but they were just talking so much shit. And you know how it is back in Halo 2. It's like, just everybody just talks shit to each other. It's just it's how you play. You don't actually shoot or anything. So, and I forgot what they were saying to him, but I remember in the post-game lobby, I wound up like escalating so quickly, and they kept saying shit to him. I forgot what they were saying. They're like, "Oh yeah, fuck you, oh, I fucking that's why you fucking suck, blah, 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 and I fucked your mother, blah, blah, all this shit." All the stupid shit, they would say. And my brother's, like, screaming back at them, and they keep going back and forth. And it just got to the point where my brother was just so fed up, and he just started screaming at the top of his lungs, where no one else could speak. And he's just like, "Go fuck your sister!" He says it, like, over and over and over.
I remember hearing... I love that in Halo 2. You could hear the enemy team if you were close. And that was like a legitimate strategy whenever you were hiding. You would hear them, and you're like, they're nearby. So you'd start like crouching around the map with like a shotgun or something. And it would just become this like standoff. And you're like talking to the person and like, "I hear you." And you're just like trying to see who sees each other first. Yeah. And I love how I hate how they took that away, kind of.
Yeah.
But
that was a good aspect of it.
What's really nice in Black Ops 2, after you kill somebody, they give you the reaction of their mic. You don't hear them during the game, but like you can't hear them when you're running around. But when you kill somebody, you can hear their mic for a few seconds. You could hear if they're saying anything. Yeah, so basically you get a reaction of them after you kill them.
You know what I want? Every Xbox One is being shipped with the Kinect, right?
Yeah. Well, a picture of their face, just like shocked.
Because Burnout Paradise did it, Halo could do it, Call of Duty could do it, Titanfall can do it. I want a video of their reaction when I kill them.
You know what? For the majority of people, it'll just be just blank stare. You've seen me stream. It's just a blank stare.
You can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can do whatever the hell you want. But then, after the game, I want the losing team's videos on there, presented for everyone to see.
It'd be amazing.
And that's what I want that so bad.
Like in a 4, like say it's 4-on-4, like just like a big square, and then there's like 4 squares inside of there, and you just see like all their faces throughout the game, along with like the gameplay footage above. That would be pretty cool.
You know what I think would be like so much fun, and it would really bring like the community together, is if they implement something into these first-person shooters, whether it be the new Call of Duty or Battlefield or the new Halo, whatever, where, like, let's say the losing team gets a picture taken of their face, and everyone makes the most random face at the end of the game on the losing team, and then they show, like, the losing team's pictures all together.
And you know what? They'd have to have the winning team's picture.
Yeah,
they'd have to have the winning team picture too.
And it
You're
was
like
just-
stand there like victorious, like flexing.
And
Dude, that would be
all of our
amazing.
large cocks just
Yeah,
hanging in a row.
Yeah.
Well, with the power of the Kinect, they'll know to blur it out.
I just imagine just like 8 squares, just dicks popping up
losing-
like
The
victory.
losing team or just like 4 small dicks and the winning team just 4 large dicks coincidentally.
Too mad. This is video games. The opposite.
But speaking of raging, something I'm really excited to do again, which we did in the previous Grand Theft Auto, and something I would actually really like to capture in this Grand Theft Auto is messing with Shadow.
Yeah.
When the old Grand Theft Auto, Shadow rages at everything, and last time in Grand Theft Auto 4, Matt and his brother were running over Shadow constantly. he couldn't get up or anything, and he couldn't die for some reason. He was just getting knocked over.
What was it? The fire truck?
It was
No, they were
was
just
hilarious.
running over.
It was hilarious because like my brother and his friend were the ones doing it, and they were like in a private chat. So like Shadow's like yelling at them, and they can't even hear him because they're just in a private chat.
Yeah.
And like they weren't initially, and that's why like they kept doing it because they did it once by accident, and he bitched about it. So they did it again on purpose, and then he got really mad, and they started laughing about it. So they go into a private chat, and they're just talking like about whatever they're talking about, but they keep like finding Shadow and running him over. And the funny thing about it though is like Shadow, he gets so worked up, and like he's like talking to Billy, like telling him a story, and it's like every time he gets run over, it's like he has to stop.
Yeah.
Because like he can't speak and get run over at the same time. Yeah, you know, and then this thing happened. What the fuck? It was so hilarious.
I
Which
can't wait.
brought the famous line, Barry, why you hang out with such assholes?
Yeah. That was it. That line was notorious for.
I never got to experience Shadow. All his experience was like
It's
his
fun.
WoW.
It's fun. You really.
He's a lot of fun.
All experience was his time with us on
No,
WoW.
he's not.
You don't mind right now?
He was
And
so
then
get him on
his
here?
short
He was so
demise
fucking
with us on WoW.
He was so fucking annoying. Oh my god, dude.
He's beautiful.
Barney, I'm
Where-
surprised
He
you
was
even
not
hear him.
Beautiful.
I'm surprised you even hear
He
him,
was
Barney.
the most annoying human. I think me and Jayden hated him.
Dude,
Jayden
Yeah,
hates
yeah.
Jayden hates everybody.
Barney, I remember you've had Shadow muted on Xbox for 3 years, and you just unmuted him like a couple of like years ago. You were like, I've had you muted for 3
Oh.
years.
Who had him muted? Someone still has him muted. It might be Barney. Every time he's in the same party with him,
muted
he gets
him,
upset with that.
Yeah.
Well, I muted him, and then what happened was I was like, why did I mute him? I forgot why I muted him. I'll unmute him. I unmute him, and
Yeah.
then literally like 20 minutes later, I'm like, I can't deal with this.
I think it is Barney.
Yeah, it was. I remember because it was the same time because he still has the same Halo 3 gamer picture, and I mentioned that directly after, like I saw how many years he had him muted for.
Yeah, it's been a really long time, but Shadow's a lot of fun. He's he argues a lot, but and no, he's a lot.
He has a lot of fun to spread too.
Yeah.
To different, pillows and.
But I'm really
sheets.
excited about the new Kinect. I am very excited about
Me
it.
too.
Just cause I had a conversation with Billy about this. The character integration is going to be revolutionized. Like, never again are we going to, assuming that WWE ports this in their next generation titles, the game can scan our bodies and build a character based on our physical features.
Oh,
That
that's
is
so
the most
perfect.
depressing. That is the most depressing thing I've ever heard.
But it's
Why is
fun
that
though.
depressing?
It's fun. It adds so much more. Like the things we do with WWE, we wish we could have that. That way, when we do these fights and like different episodes with us, we could have like ourselves, like how we are. Like
How is that depressing?
It's depressing to me because I don't want my character to look like me.
Barney,
Why
your
would I
character
want my
already
character
looks
to
like you
look
in
like
WWE.
Shut
Barney, I'd
up.
rather you stick me.
You look
Just
good
in a,
too.
I have
just
short
in a
hair.
suit. Now
Yeah,
you do.
well,
You
we
have a
didn't
mohawk.
update you yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather you stick me.
Rather you stick me.
How is that
pussy.
disappointing?
But imagine imagine the revolutionary, like, just the character creations. And then, like, where are they going to go from there?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's so many possibilities they're bringing into gaming with this.
You know what I would like to see?
What?
You know the whole like importing ourselves into games.
Yeah.
A game that's developed for like your own story around your character, and you play as you.
Yeah.
We've never had anything like that.
Didn't someone make something like that, but it cost like, I don't know, like thousands of dollars for them to make it.
I think I remember reading that.
I remember that was an old article.
My story would be so boring.
Barney, I don't think, I mean, I know the other guys heard, but have you heard like what happened with PSO2 in the latest update?
What is PSO2?
Phantasy Star Online 2.
Okay.
Well, with the latest update they came out with, like, I think it was over 20,000 people were affected by this, where the latest update deleted crucial files on their hard drive and wiped everything.
That sucks. When did this happen?
Latest update. And
Oh my
they admitted to this. Like, this is actually one of the first things that Sega's admitted to. And it's like, this is like the biggest fault in like gaming, if not in gaming history, like Sega history. And they compensated people with, I think, either $1,000 so they can fix all the damages, or 10,000 ARX cash, which is the in-game currency, which I believe is a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go download that update.
They
Get
supposedly they
$1,000.
fixed it, but there's been updates lately that I've been very skeptical about. With Sony releasing that update that bricks consoles and this, updates are becoming pretty dangerous.
Yeah, dude, that's why I don't like to update shit, man. I feel like updates usually cause, like, if there's no problem in the first place, I feel like they just cause more problems.
Yeah,
In the long run.
That's rare though.
yeah. I mean, something that I don't like, I noticed it in the Nintendo 3DS updates, is where it states like, if something goes wrong with this update, it is not our fault. Even though they're the ones releasing the update. I feel like they should take some kind of credit for fucking up my system if something does fuck
I don't know
up.
what that's about. But I mean, updates that would actually like hurt your system are like so rare.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so rare.
it barely ever. As I said, millions of people play Phantasy Star
I'm just
Online.
happy that when I'm updating, if my console goes off or something, or whatever it is, any game, if I turn that game off, I don't have to worry about that whole data being like erased.
Yeah.
Like I did like earlier when it's like anything was happening, like when you were saving or anything was happening in the game, it's like don't turn this off or you could lose everything.
I always hated that.
It
I
was
mean,
such a bad
saving has
feeling.
definitely taken like a better turn in like this generation. I remember with the Donkey Kong, how I deleted a save. I actually didn't even delete it. I popped it in to play it, and there were no saves in it. And that happened a lot with the Super Nintendo, where saves just got wiped for no reason.
Yeah.
Where they just weren't there anymore. They didn't exist. And that sucked for, like, I played Final Fantasy 3, 6, but
it was 3.
in our country it was 3.
Yeah.
And I got pretty far in that, and I unlocked a lot of the, what were they, mugs that you can play as, and I thought that was
Bananas.
awesome because that was one of the first like monster kind of things that I was able to play as, and I was all into that. I love that. And it got deleted for absolutely no reason at all.
Oh, did you ever play Donkey Kong 64?
I played Donkey Konga.
Yes, Donkey
That's not the
Konga.
same thing.
Oh my
But-
god, that was so
Itchy
much fun.
ass hands after you play that.
Seriously.
Donkey Kong 64 was awesome. And
Which
you could
one was
unlock
that?
characters in that. That's like the open world Donkey Kong where you go into the levels. You can play as like
Alright.
lanky, tiny.
Oh, I want to play that now.
Who was that? Who was the big guy? He was like Biggie?
Ryback?
Like huge. I don't know, the big dude. He was really fun to play
Big
as.
guy.
Then you plays Donkey Kong, and then was that it? Was it just the 4 of them?
I
Am
believe
missing
I
somebody?
don't remember. It was,
Missing anybody?
I never played it. I don't think.
Lanky was the best by
You
far.
guys ever play Paper Mario, the Mario RPG?
I never played a lot of it, but I have the demo on my 3DS.
Ah, dude, it's so
But-
good.
Anyways, with Donkey Kong 64, I remember playing that, and first I borrowed it from my neighbor, and he kind of just let me keep it. I still have it, but something had like messed up in the file. Like I don't even know what happened, but in the beginning of the game wouldn't start where it was supposed to start. like I couldn't make progress because the first person you're supposed to talk to, like you talked to them, it wouldn't do anything. Like nothing happened. Like I just couldn't play it. And it's stuff like that that makes me wish like I had updates. Like then I could go through it, and because if you don't have that update like that, then your game is basically that's it. It's done. Like,
Yeah.
You have to get a new game or something.
Oh yeah, that's shit.
All the information's like
I
in the
hate
game
that.
instead of the hard.
Saving's definitely taken a way better turn. I think the last game I had a lot of trouble with saving is Fallout New Vegas. They had a hardcore mode, which think of like Skyrim, and every arrow that you have has weight to it, so you can only carry so many. That's how it was. Every bullet for every weapon that you had a weight to it. You can only carry so many, limited. You had to feed your character, you had to sleep, and you had to eat. And
That's so horrible. That's not fun.
it's fun once you get the achievement. It's a challenge, and I really enjoy it. I actually do enjoy
It's like a
playing it like that.
hardcore survival mode. So.
Yeah. It's like Minecraft, kind of, pretty much. But anyway, I got really far in that, and it had this thing where if in the menu, in every loading screen, it saves. But it does this thing occasionally where it would freeze in the middle of the loading screen, and your save will get corrupted. And that's what happened with my hardcore save, where the whole thing, I believe, like 80% done with the game.
Oh my god, that's.
I found Benny. I was at the last quest, but my character wasn't strong enough, so I was working to get better gear. I was working to get power armor, and I just finished the mission to get power armor. I was leaving the place, and it froze, and then corrupted my file, and I couldn't go back to that. I had to restart over, and then I that's why I still don't have that achievement unlocked yet, because I have not. I also built out a DLC for it, which I haven't gotten a chance to play yet.
Pittsburgh. You go to Pittsburgh.
I think. No, that was for Fallout 3. This was for New Vegas.
Okay.
And I was actually really excited to play this DLC until that happened. So I little by little I'm getting back into it. I haven't got back. I have a hardcore character, but I haven't gotten that far into it.
So,
It's funny how like little things like that would just ruin the whole game.
Yeah.
For like.
I mean, I wouldn't call it little. I mean, that's my whole game save.
I know, but just like something like that, like even if it's just like a different mode, it'll make you just not want to play a game like ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just not enjoy it.
No, I'm completely. That's why I am right now getting on Diablo, and I am going to save. I'm making copies of my Inferno character. That's something.
I think we should wrap
like
this
good,
up. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah, we should actually wrap this up. All right. Well, this has been the first podcast. I actually don't know what should we call this. Should this still be Fatal 4-Way Podcast or?
Sure.
Yeah. This has been Fatal 4-Way Podcast. I don't know how popular this gets, but if it gets popular, then we'll be back. Thank you guys for watching.